Westminster Woods on Julington Creek, have we got a show for you. This is most certainly variety at its best. We decided not to let that creepy bug out there stop us from one of our most fun and crazy events. Our performers prefer to do their act in front of you, but with the help of our technology wizards, we came up with Plan B. As we wind down our patriotic month of July, it brings us great pride and joy to present to you our annual USO talent show. Now don't forget to clap and laugh.
Okay, girls, are we far enough apart? Okay, take one, USO show 2020.
For the longest time, I have been at home in quarantine, stopping spread of COVID-19. What else could I do? Don't want this virus from you. We haven't left here for the longest time. My best friend is Closed Circuit TV. Jerry, Joe, and Jen inspire me. We wear our face masks. We wash our hands like US. Our Southwood neighbors seem so far away. For the longest time. Whoa, for the longest exercise on 266. Sit-ups, grapevines, and a few gifts. Laura gives us movies and menus for us foodies. We tune in daily for the longest time. Maybe this won't last very long. There's no end in sight. My hair is a fright. I should diet for my heart, but right from the start, I've been binging on Twinkies. Those our age don't know much about Zoom. Don't wake up till almost noon. Although it's safer, we're out of toilet paper. We've been sequestered for the longest time. Instacart's a new way to shop. Everything you need, from eggs to soda pop. Toenails grow with lightning speed. If night is what we need, McCoy, bring your lockers. It's been months since we saw our grands. Cannot wait to hold their little hands. We must stay healthy. We must be virus free. We want to be here for the longest time. Whoa, 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 for the longest time.
I'm especially happy that we can be a part of this USO show. My mother was the director of activities for the whole USO in Tampa, Florida during the war. And that is where she met my father and where they got married. And this is a little grainy and old and hard picture. She said, "Here comes the bride." My father was in the service there, stationed in Tampa, MacDill Air Force Base. And so that's where we all began our story. And the song we're going to sing is one of our favorite duets by the Everly Brothers. It's called All I Have to Do Is Dream. And though we've sung it for many years, it has become true in the past year. We're living out the lyrics because my husband has been working in California and I've been living here at Westminster Woods in Florida for most of the past year. And so if I want to see him, I have to dream. Dream, 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 dream. Dream, dream, dream when I want you. In my arms when I want you. And all your charms whenever I want you. All I have to do is dream. Dream, dream, dream when I feel blue. In the night and I need you to hold me tight whenever I want you. All I have to do is dream. I can make you mine and taste your lips so fine anytime, night or day. Only trouble is, gee whiz, I'm dreaming my life away. I need you so that I could die. I love you so, and that is why whenever I want you, all I have to do is dream. Dream, 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 dream. I can make you mine, taste your lips so fine, anytime, night or day. The only trouble is, gee whiz, I'm dreaming my life away. I need you so that I could die. I love you so, and that is why whenever I want you, all I have to do is dream. Dream, 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 dream. Dream, 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 dream. Dream, 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 dream.
I was at an airport one day, and while I was riding the plane, I looked outside and I looked at the clouds. And I was going through some things at the time, and I heard God begin to tell me, He said, you just need a little bit more faith. And I heard a song. It says, come and fly. Come and fly. Oh, some things we can only see from the sky. Lord, what? You know, sometimes we ask the Lord questions. Lord, why? Oh, some things we can only see from the sky. He said, if you dare take a stand and move by my command, oh, then maybe you will see from the sky. For it takes faith to reach
the unreachable word, to speak to the unspeakable spirit, to perceive the expected end. So grab unto joy and peace, righteousness, and you will see that Jesus, He's the key to reaching your destiny. Oh, then maybe you will see. Oh, then maybe you will see. Oh, then after you've done all to stand, He said stand, you will see from the sky.
Hello, everybody. I'm Wayne Sims. My wife, Jane, who's my storytelling partner also, we live in North Point. And I'm delighted to tell you a story today. What's a story without a little drama involved in it? This one has drama in it. You may not remember the story, but I guarantee you, you're going to remember the outcome of the story for many years. You see, I was born up north Alabama. And I was born in an era right after the Depression, out in the country. Now, the country I was born in isn't like the country that you think about modern day time, pristine roads and farms and so forth. But we're talking about dirt roads, no electricity, bathroom 50 yards out down by the garden, running water, sure, coming out of a spring over on the side of DeKalb Mountain, a half a mile across the way. But it was a place we could keep the milk cool. And during my formative years, for some 7 years, I lived right there across the road from my granddad. My playmates was an uncle. My daddy's youngest brother was only 5 years older than me, so he and I were best buddies. And we had a friend that J.C. DeKalb, he lived about a mile over past the sinkhole on the cornfield, on the road on the backside there. And he and Melvin and I were the three musketeers. And we had fun. Working was hard in the country in those days. But one thing happened every year, late summer, came lay-by time. Now, you may not be familiar with lay-by time. And if you're living the farm, you got to remember this. You start plowing the earth early in the spring. You plant, you pray, you work, you hope, you hoe, you pull grass, all of this until finally, along about late July, everything is in the Maker's hands. And all you can do is hope that everything turns out for you. It's lay-by time. And then we sort of get a vacation. The churches have their meetings and the all-day singings. It's a good time. Well, Melvin and JC and I, we had fun because during lay-by time, you see, we didn't have jobs. We had a lot of idle time, and we would play. And there was an old man who lived up on the top of Trinity Mountain who came down. He came down to see Grandpa one day, and they got along real good, and he kept coming back. And the old man of the mountain, he had a habit that just drove our bodies crazy. These three young fellows who were prone to mistakes couldn't stand it because the old man of the mountain was always right. It didn't make any difference what it was. Not in his mind, he was just literally always right. And it drove us insane. We couldn't stand it. How could a man be perfect like the old man of the mountain? And one day JC came up with the idea. He said, boys, let's do this. We're going to find us a bird. When we find the bird, we're going to go see the old man. We're going to say, old man, we're going to have the bird behind our back. We're going to say, old man, guess what I got in my hand? And he's going to say, well, boys, I guess you got a bird. And the old man will be right. He's always right. But that's when we're going to say, that's right, old man, but is that bird dead or is it alive? And if he says, well, I'm sure, guys, it must be a dead bird, we're going to pull the hand out and open it, and that bird's going to fly away. And if he happens to say, well, I expect that bird's alive, then we'll crush that young bird to death in our hand and hold our hand out and show him the dead bird. Old man's going to be wrong. Either way he goes, he's going to be wrong. You got to find the bird, dummy. So we signed ourselves the task of finding the bird, and 4 days later, Melvin found him down there in the bird's nest, down below the orchard, and brought it to the house, and we got in touch with JC, and the three of us went to the top of the mountain, climbing through the briar and the bramble and the woods, and finally getting up to the top of Trinity Mountain, and we broke out into a bald. Now, you know, a bald on a mountain is a spot where trees don't grow. And at the back of the bald was this little 2-room house jutting out off the side of the mountain with 8-foot posts under the front porch out there. This is where the old man of the mountain lived. He was a hermit for all practical purposes. We stepped out into the bald and started to walk to the house, and this cur dog came running out from under that porch, and you would have thought he was going to eat us alive. We started to run back down the mountain. Forget about making anybody right. We were going to save our hides. And about that time, the old man of the mountain came out on the porch, and he said, boys, hold on there. Old Critter won't hurt you. He's just making noise. Critter, get under the porch. And he did. He said, come on up, boys. What you guys got in your mind? Well, that's when we all got together right there at the edge of the porch, and the old man is standing up there on the porch, looking down at us. And Melvin's the oldest of the three, and he's in the center, and he says, well, old man, we've got a question for you. And the old man says, sure, boys, what is it? Melvin said, old man, what do I have behind my back? And the old man says, boys, I sort of suspect you got a bird. He was right, because the old man's always right. That's when Melvin said, you're right, old man, but tell me this. Is that bird dead or is it alive? We punched each other. He couldn't be right both ways. We were going to prove the old man was wrong. It was time for truth to come out on our side. And so Melvin said, that's right, old man, but tell me, is it dead or alive? And the old man stood there and looked at us. And he pondered it. And he looked at JC. Then he looked at me. And then he looked straight at Melvin. And the old man said, well, boys, I guess it is as you desire. The old man of the mountain, he was always right.
Jerry Joe here. Are you ready? Okay. No, we're not going to exercise. I'm here to entertain you. You know, my biological father is a Marine, and he served in the Vietnam War. On behalf of his service and the USO, I would like to sing this song to you because I really do have my father's eyes. my face may not grace the mind of everyone in the world, but that's all right as long as I can have one wish. I pray when people look inside my life, I want to hear them say, she's got her father's eyes, her father's eyes, eyes that find the good in things when good just can't be found, eyes that find the source of help when help is not around, eyes full of compassion, seeing every pain, knowing what you're going through and feeling it the same, just like my father's eyes, my father's eyes, my father's eyes, just like my father's eyes. And on that day when we will pay for all the deeds we have done, good and bad, they'll all be had to see by everyone. And when you're called to stand and tell just what you saw in me, more than anything I know, I want your words to be, she had her father's eyes, her father's eyes, eyes that found the good in things when good was not around, eyes that found the source of help when help could not be found, eyes full of compassion, seeing every pain, knowing what you're going through and feeling it the same, just like my father's eyes, my father's eyes, my father's eyes, just like my father's eyes, my father's eyes, my father's eyes, just like my father's eyes.
Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. Shall I stay? Would it be a sin if I can't help falling in love with you? Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you.
During World War II, before I was 6 years old, my mother gave me piano lessons, and I had piano lessons till I was 16 in high school. But at recitals, all the people that played saw music in their mind, all except me.
Che bella cosa, ma giornate sole, ma una serena dopo una tempesta, ma l'avna fresca, paragiana festa. Che bella cosa, ma giornate sole. Ma tu sole, più bello in me, oh sole mio, sta in fronte a te, oh sole mio, sta in fronte a te, sta in fronte a te. Ma tu sole, più bello in me, oh sole mio, sta in fronte a te, oh sole mio, sta fronte a te, sta fronte a te.
Sigma Chi is an international fraternity, and it's one of the largest social fraternities in North America. The fraternity has 244 active chapters across the United States and Canada, and has initiated more than 350,000 members. The fraternity was founded June 28, 1855 at Miami University in Oxford, Ohio. Like all fraternities, Sigma Chi has its own colors, insignia, and rituals. Many fraternities have songs, drinking songs especially, but Sigma Chi has a song dedicated to the brothers' girlfriends. We have with us tonight someone who knew the person who wrote this very well-known music and song. Let me introduce Carol Perkins, who will tell you a little bit about her college career and how she came to know the author of this song.
Yes, I went to the Metropolitan United Methodist Church in right downtown, halfway downtown Detroit.
Right.
And it was a big
church, and
church.
Mr. Verner was organist there, right?
Right.
And that's how you came to know him.
And he was very, very popular in his music.
And he wrote the words to the song, and Stokes wrote the music. Is that right?
That's correct.
That's right. And you have an actual copy of this song that Mr. Verner signed for you.
This is a autographed copy of the song.
The Sweetheart of Sigma Chi. So let's sing it, Carol.
And we're going to sing it now.
We're going to sing it now.
Okay.
The girl of my dreams is the sweetest girl of all the girls I know. Each sweet co-ed in a rainbow trail fades in the afterglow. The blue of her eyes and the gold of her hair are a blend of the western sky, and the moonlight beams on the girl of my dreams. She's a sweetheart of Sigma Chi. There we are.
Sing for me a song like visage. Sing for me a tune of love's mirage. Deep is ours. Sing the dawn. Whispers that echo the desert on my soul. I hold your wrist and promise close to my heart. Welcoming you to my heart.
Back at the last talent show, they booked a junior sample. He was a big success, but he has since gone on to the Grand Ole Opry in the sky. So they booked Roy Rogers and his horse Trigger. Say hello, Trigger. We had a hard time getting Trigger on campus because he kept failing the skin surface temperature test. Nobody told Pam that a horse's body temperature is 101. One time Trigger ran off and we couldn't find him. It was a terrible woe. Trigger was staying in a stable with some racehorses. One of them started to boast about his track record. In the last 15 races, I've won 8, he said. Another horse breaks in and said, well, in the last 27 races, I've won 19. The third horse breaks in and said, that's great, but in the last 36 horses, I've won 28. At this point, the horses notice an old dog. It was a greyhound laying over there in the corner. And the greyhound's been listening. And the greyhound says, I don't mean to boast, but I've run 90 races, and I've won 88 of them. The horses are clearly amazed. Wow, one says after a hushed silence. A talking dog. Now we're going to do a song for you this evening, so it might be a good time to get a drink or go to the bathroom if you need to. Cool Water was a song written in 1936 by Bob Nolan. It was about a man and his mule Dan and a mirage in the desert. Members of the Western Writers of America chose it number 3 of the top 100 Western songs of all time. It was recorded by Hank Williams, Eddie Arnold, Roy Rogers, and the Sons of the Pioneers, and many others. They sold several million records. Personally, I hope tonight this isn't being recorded, but I think that it is. Unfortunately, the Sons of the Pioneers were supposed to be here too, but they got caught in a traffic jam on the Buckman Bridge, and they aren't here. So you just have to deal with me. Now, they tell me that I'm supposed to do this, and I have to do it professionally, and I'm almost there. I'm told to check the tuning. I have no idea what I'm doing, but here goes. All day I've faced the barren waste without a taste of water, cool water. Old Dan and I with throats burned dry and souls that cry for water, cool water. Keep a-moving, Dan, don't you listen to him, Dan. The devil not a man, and he spreads the burning sand with water. Dan, can you see that big green tree where the water's running free, and it's waiting there for you and me? The nights are cool, and I'm a fool. Each star's a pool of water, cool water. But with the dawn I'll carry on and find some water, cool, clear water. Keep a-moving, Dan, don't you listen to him, Dan. He's a devil, not a man, and he tread the burning sand with water. Dan, can you see that big green tree where the water's running free, and it's waiting there for you and me? Dan's feet are sore, he's yearning for just one thing more than water, cool water. Like me, I guess he'd like to rest where there's no quest for water, cool water. keep a moving, Dan. Don't you listen to him, Dan. He's a devil, not a man, and he spreads the burning sand with water. Dan, can you see that big green tree where the water's running free and it's waiting there for you and me? Dan, can you see that big green tree where the water's running free and it's waiting there for you and me?
I had a vision of walking up life's way, the weight of the world on my shoulders, doubting when I pray. But I looked up to heaven, and what did I see? Jesus handing slippers down to me. And you know what the Lord is saying? He says, dance, daughter, dance. Dance your cares away. No more sorrow, for I hear you when you pray. So dance, daughter, dance. I'm right there by your side. One thing you can be sure of, in me you shall abide. He wants you to dance. He wants you to dance. God knows what you're going through. He wants you to dance. Come on. This is your moment. He wants you to dance. He wants you to dance. Oh, one thing you can be sure of. One thing you can be sure of. One thing you can rely on. One thing you can be sure of. In me you shall abide. Dance, daughter, dance.